guys, this is my second attempt to try to put some kind of video up today. It's been hard since yesterday with the weather, not being able to go outside much because of the rain, and the laundry here next to me, all of it. The twinnies are sleeping, napping. It's like 6:30 p.m. They're napping now. And when they wake up, they will have a meltdown. It's always like that. And they'll keep me late until like 10, 11 or something, but I'm used to it. But today was holiday of some sort. So the boys are at home, all of them together. And tomorrow was supposed to be it's a day where the school walks from the school building to the closest park, and then usually kids take lunch with them and then play, and then they go to that home straight. It's not like classes or regular classes. No, you just go with your sports clothes, with PE clothes, and normal backpack, like a hiking backpack or like whatever, and you take your lunchbox with you and just have fun basically with your teachers and your friends. But because it's pandemic and because it's really bad weather anyways, they will be at the school, but they'll be eating their own lunch. So this morning we had to go with the boys and left the twins here with their father and went with the boys shopping for getting stuff for their bento lunch boxes for tomorrow, and like snacks, whatever they want to take. We usually look for something salty, something sweet, and something gummy, because I like gummies. But I don't know, while we went to a few shops, in two of them I just left the boys in the car and just went to grab like diapers and formula for the babies real quick. And the shop I just needed to get like some lettuce for tomorrow for their sandwiches or rice bowls or whatever they're gonna eat. But in one of the shops, while I was loading the stuff from the basket to the bag, I don't know what they were doing, but they're quarreling, they're like fighting verbally, and then one of them snapped, and my middle guy, he snapped and he hit his brother. I'm not sure who hit where, and I was just, my eyes were down so I didn't see, but I was so embarrassed. Because they're not in the age where they're not like 2-3-year-olds where they solve everything with like hitting each other and crying and just make big deal of it and just move on, right? It's their 5th, 4th, and 3rd grade now, and they should know better how to treat each other, how to communicate, to have clear talking, not like nagging at each other and like being annoying to each other to the point where one wants to hit the other. And I think we should be past those things, but I guess we're not. And so I got really upset, and the ordeal that's when it began and just continued in the house. Like they're not like, one of them, he's not being honest. He's hiding his homework. They give them printouts that they have to fill in and at home and just give to the teacher for checking afterwards and stuff like that. So he hides it. He's very secretive. He fires up really fast. He's not a problem resolver. He doesn't like talking. He just likes action. He doesn't like talking to me, like we sit down and talk. He doesn't like being told what to do, and gets really angry so much. And then he had this scene with his father as well, because his father was pissed that he lied about homeworks again, and because I have no power or supporting them with help about schoolwork at all. Like, I'm useless here, and therefore I don't really care. And so he feels like, he has to do everything on his own. And that's, again, that was not my choice either, to be in this country to start with. And so things just pile up and pile up. And trust me, it's really hard. I had a good cry with that boy. We just talked. Him with his blanket on top of his head, covering his whole body, and me next to him lying on his brother's bed, trying to communicate, but also really tired and wasted. And so I'm thinking I need a specialist. I need somebody to talk to him, somebody who is on his mother and father, he's sick of listening to, constantly correcting him. He needs another adult who has knowledge about child's behavior and development, and a person who knows the mental growth of a kid. And I can read anything and everything on the internet. I can Google anything. I could read people's articles and medical records, and it just doesn't matter, because each kid, every individual is different, and separately, and growing up, and it's just so different. It cannot really put them under the same denominator, all of them. Even if it's some form of, if it is some form of autism, it's they branch out in so many different ways. And I all I know is that I need help, because I explained to him that it makes it really hard with his behavior for everybody in the house. And it's true. And if we're feeling pressured and constantly stressed and constantly hurt and constantly trying to balance out, and it's just tiring to death, and makes me so hopeless and helpless. And being in this country doesn't help at all, because I cannot contact any specialist anywhere. I could look. It's a pandemic. I don't want to go to the biggest city of our prefecture, because that's where looms and dooms the corona right now. So and this whole thing about this virus is just I it just adds more to the whole picture. And it's been really hard. So I just cried. I was like, you just have to understand that you're not alone in all this. And if you cannot explain to me because it's hard to explain, I'm here to help you, and we can figure it out together. And then I read, and then it was really interesting, because after all this ordeal was over with, and he was all happy and cheerful again, playing with, watching TV with his brother, and just playing with the twins here. After all that, I just sat with my phone and I read, it was a Bulgarian article, but it was translated from English, about this, what was her name? She's very popular, famous, or what was her name? I forgot. I just read it, but I forgot. Anyway, she's a choreographing, like she was like, when she was a kid, she was like, what they explain in that condition sounds exactly like my boy. Like, kind of like dreamy eyes at school, no focus, like thinking, forgetting easily, snapping, and like, it's just like that, angry, and just shuts out for the world. And the parents apparently were called at school at the end. Like, everybody was having a hard time with her. They were like thinking she's a lost cause. She has to be with medication, or seen by a specialist, or sent to a school with people like her condition and things like that. And so they took her to a doctor, and they were talking about symptoms and checking, probably doing tests and whatever. And then they left the radio on, in the room. She was waiting while the parents were talking to the doctor and the adults talking, and then there was music and rhythm, and her body was following the rhythm, and the doctor pointed at her and he said she doesn't need a doctor or medication, she just needs to she likes to dance. And so they sent her up for dancing classes, and she would come back home with this big smile. And I don't remember her name. No, I don't remember. Anyways, so she was the choreographing whatever. She did a lot of. She's worldwide famous now with the Phantom of the Opera or whatever. Like anyways, I cannot. You probably guys know who I'm talking about. It's just not in my head right now. Sorry about the name. But I was thinking, So I asked my boy, and right now he goes to martial arts, defense, martial arts. It's not like karate and judo, which is attack. It's defense. It's originally Chinese, ancient, whatever. Not ancient, but like Chinese kind of martial arts. And he goes to that with his brothers, and they go to piano. But all three of them go to the same things, which I think is very wrong. He's not a shorinju material, like he's not a martial arts material. He doesn't enjoy it, he doesn't focus, he likes to move but not like that. And so they all three go to piano. My firstborn, he doesn't really want to or enjoy it, but since I told him that it's something that he will regret if he stops, because when I was little I wanted to go and nobody took me or had the money to pay for my lessons and stuff like that, and I didn't have piano at home anyway, so I always wanted to. And I thought, my kids are very, very fortunate. And so it's getting dark, sorry guys, but it's okay. So he goes anyways. But anyway, so I'm asking my second son, the middle boy, the troubled one. I ask him what he likes to if he had like the martial arts and the piano, and if the swimming lessons, they have tennis lessons here, they have soccer, whatever, they have like basketball, whatever, what would he choose? And he said piano. So he likes music, he is good at music. He self-teaches himself with this piano here that has like music in a disc, and you can it lights up the keys. They're like little lights next to the keys, what key to, you see, he self teaches himself a lot with the piano, and he loves music. He can play the piano for no reason at all, like just for fun. And the other two, I have to make them every day to play for 15 minutes, and they sometimes forget to, and I forget to push them. But anyway, so music, it is music. I know he likes music, talks to him. Music is a way of him expressing himself. I don't know if dancing will be the one. I don't know any people around here teaching dancing lessons. I would give it a try. He likes he likes making things from Lego. He designs things without using what do you call it? The guide. Every Lego has a booklet that you have to follow the instructions. All the instructions. He designs things without instructions and uses like whatever he's got and from the Lego. And it's amazing. He's amazing with that. He designs things with paper, even like he's good at arts at crafts. And he likes dancing here, like just grooving his body around, and the babies love it too. They just love the rhythm and feel it and just dance together. So I know it's music and creativity, and I know it's very wrong, and I'm pretty sure it's not only Japan doing that, but like everywhere they're doing that. They just try to put everybody in the same norm, and kids are not the same. They don't have the same anything. Even in this house, my 5 kids are so different individuals, so different people. And yes, he's a little bit more sticking out, like just more like into himself, not really socializing much with other kids. But that doesn't make him dumber, or I don't know. He's an amazing kid, and maybe he doesn't enjoy school at all, and he doesn't have many friends there, and nothing is like to look forward to go there. And about the homework, I don't know. I don't know. And I have to figure out. But if any of you out there have any experience like that, please give me heads up, or share with me experience, or websites, or any links, or anything I could do or help, because I feel helpless, and I don't feel like I could sit down normally and talk to his father too, because guess what? While I'm talking to him, even sharing that story that I read, he's on his phone playing games. I cannot really take seriously or want to be in the presence of a person whom I'm talking to about something that is not even about me, it's about our son, and see that dude with his phone constantly, like not even being able to put it away in a different room. Always, that's why I call him the guy with the phone. It's just the guy with the phone. No matter how much he like, he will be out in the sandbox outside across the street, and his little baby girl will be like reaching out to him. He'll be like next to her on the phone, and he'll be like one hand with the phone, the other hand's like reaching down to her too, not even sitting down on their level, you know. So with that kind of person, it's really hard to sit down and talk about. All he said was he knew a psychiatrist, one psychiatrist, and he probably can contact her, and she can evaluate. I don't know. And then I was like, okay, that's what you can do. What we can do, we means together as a family, hopefully. And he's like, I don't know, what do you have in mind? I'm like, oh my gosh. Seriously, at that point I was like, I don't want to be in the same room. There is no way a normal couple will address that kind of problem that in this way. Talking to each other with a phone and playing them games, some kind of bubbles with colors. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm just so desperate to get out of here and to be able to be in a place where my kids can be exposed to more things that they can enjoy, and more stuff they could do, instead of being here with, I don't know, guys. I cannot explain to you the level of the feeling of being trapped in so many different levels. It's just unbelievable. And when it's about me, I could probably suck it up, how I'm always told to, and would just be here for the sake of my kids. But when it's about my kids, and that they need help, when they need something that I can't help with, it makes me furious in levels he would never know. And just because I don't show it in my face and my heart is racing inside, I don't know. Anyways, I'll keep this video short because it's getting dark anyways. But if there are any moms out there watching this, I need help. Please let me know. I know help on the media is not really like, okay, you cannot really tell me or diagnose or whatever, but anything that is shared out there, I would appreciate it. Even if it's just experience or some help, like in a way of reaching out and saying, hey, you're not alone in that, you know. All right, love you all, bye.